My name is Brother Peter Heiskell, and I'm a Marianist brother, and I've been working at Chaminade High School since the 1990-91 school year. I've taught over the years Latin and Spanish. Right now I teach level 2 of those two subjects. And I'm also the director of apostolic activities, which means I'm responsible for a lot of the community service, the retreats, the prep program, sodality overall. And then I have a sophomore homeroom and I'm the director of sophomore guidance, and I guide 2 homerooms. But I've done freshman homeroom and freshman guidance in the past as well. And I love giving guys a chance to do service. I think a lot of people are very willing to do service, but they don't always know how or where and what time. And so I see that as a big part of my role. But then I also like to do any kind of hands-on service. And we always say that we're trying not to just give money to stuff or bring stuff in. Those are good things, and sometimes we do that. But anything I can do that's hands-on, and the more direct it is. I like to take students to the IN, the Interfaith Nutrition Network in Hempstead. And if we can, on a day off from school, serve a meal. And so they get to actually bring a tray of food and drink to people who, for whatever reason, don't have a meal that day. That's a great hands-on opportunity. One way I see it is Mary is somebody who's present. And I was just down at Nazareth Farm, which is a place I love, and they talk about a ministry of presence, of just being there. And if you think about Mary, she's someone who was there at all the important moments in Jesus' life, from the moment of conception to his birth, to his growing up, teaching him how to be a man, to the very end, his passion and death on the cross. She seems to have always been there, to the reception of the Holy Spirit with the apostles. And so she's a great person to look at to learn how to be a Marianist, how to be someone who tries to be present with Christ, and then to bring that presence of Christ to others. 4 years ago, I went to a program called Horizons with the Marianists. It was basically for Marianists under 40 to learn more about the founder and to live in Bordeaux, where he worked most of his life. And for me, it was a real time of rediscovery of Father Chaminade, for me, myself personally, and really learning a lot about him that I had never learned before. And I guess it's nothing really earth-shattering, but the 2 things that were really big is that he worked in a time where there was either great indifference to religion or great actual persecution against his faith. And he really, after a time of great exile in Saragossa, Spain, which we also got to visit, he came back to France like on fire for the faith, and really realizing that he needed to get the lay people involved. He needed to educate the young people if the faith was going to survive and thrive in France. And in the part of France that he lived in, he had a huge impact on that in Bordeaux and the surrounding areas. So I think there's a lot of things similar in our times today, of either direct persecution of the faith or a lack of interest in the faith that we experience here on Long Island and in the wider world. And that I see myself as still walking in his shoes, in Father Chaminade's shoes, of trying to educate the young people and to bring the faith alive in them as a way of helping the faith to survive and to thrive on Long Island and beyond. And his witness and his dedication, his zeal, and his devotion to Mary teach me a lot about how to do that, and the kind of energy and prayer that you need to bring to that in order to make that happen. So he's kind of always in the forefront of my mind, I hope, if not in the back of my mind, as I'm working with young people and as I'm part of our Catholic education on Long Island. You know, it's not just to produce good students, but to really help the faith survive and thrive on Long Island as a son of Father Chaminade.